Ugh. Oh, I apologize about the long loading. Holy shit. So here's the deal. The Sims 3 just isn't launching. And I think it's because it uses DirectX 9, which is like mad old. Mad old as fuck at this point. Damn, I was so excited because I fucking woke up on time and everything. Nope, we're just starting at my normal, like, sleep in, hit snooze time. Damn. So, as a backup plan, we're gonna watch some videos and hang out. We haven't done that in a while. We haven't done videos and chill in a while. That's a shame. I wanted to make Potato Snek in The Sims 3 again. Oh well. What can you do? See, and then tomorrow is Moemon. No, tomorrow is Yakuza. Yeah, let's go. Yakuza Fridays, let's go. So, next week, I have an extra day off of work. Because I requested Tuesday off for the Ninja Sex Party concert. Potato Snek with her upgrades. Yes, with her upgrades. Unfortunately, that's not happening this week. I'll keep trying to plug away at it, try and fix it, and if I can fix it, then we'll play Sims 3. If not, I do have Sims 4. I would just probably want to get some DLC for it. I do have Sims 4. I just like that Sims 3 has a lot more options, which is why I like it over Sims 4. If we do end up having to do Sims 4 though, I'll just do like we'll do it. We'll figure it out. Next week. Anyway, back to next week. Next week I have an extra day off on Tuesday because I requested the day off for the Ninja Sex Party concert that I'm going to. So, what I was thinking is I would stream during the day, just like I usually do, but we would be able to do like a longer stream, like akin to like a Friday. So, what I wanted to ask chat was, what do you want to do that day? We could do like a longer Pokemon stream, which would be cool for making progress. We could do... an extra Yakuza stream. We could do something else. Like, I've got other stuff we can play. Like, I've got other stuff that we can play. So what are you thinking, chat? What do you want to see? Because I'm down for whatever. Leaning toward Yakuza, but what's the other stuff? I don't know. Like, I would just kind of look at my library, see what we have. Could be TCG Card Shop Sim. Because I still have that installed. We could play PGA Tour. PGA Tour 2023 I have. Could do I Love You, Colonel Sanders. We could do the Colonel Sanders dating sim. We could do Honey Pop. I would have to only do that on YouTube because it's banned on Twitch. Do Hollow Cure. Could do Euro Truck. Other stuff? Okay. So it's one vote for Yakuza, one vote for other stuff. It may just come down to, like, what do I feel like doing when I wake up? You know? If I feel like playing Yakuza, I'll play Yakuza. But we'll see. That's not till Tuesday, so we have time to think on it. But anyway, let's get to videos. Fair enough. We'll see. Alright, so I've got a handful of videos for us. So let's just watch some videos and hang out.
Did you know that Delfino Plaza has an unemployment rate of almost 23%? For the uninitiated, that's a really high unemployment rate. That's almost as high as the unemployment rate during the Great Depression. So what I want to know is, how come people in Delfino Plaza are so happy, but people during the Great Depression were so sad? Why doesn't Delfino Plaza seem to be experiencing any of the ill effects of a serious economic crisis despite its high unemployment rate? Figuring this out is going to take some legwork, and it's going to require gathering a lot of data. But one important thing to note is that while Delfino Plaza is the biggest city on Isle Delfino, it's not the only location on the island. There are hotels, an amusement park, a fully functioning port, tons of places outside the main city where residents may live or work. So, in order to assess the economic health of a place like Delfino Plaza, we need to not only take into account the situation there, but also what's happening in the surrounding communities like Pianta Village or Rico Harbor. We need to figure out why there is no one in Noki Bay. We need to figure out how many guests are staying in Hotel Delfino, and so much more, which means we have a lot of ground to cover. Let's stop wasting time and get started. Now, the first thing, and really the main thing we have to do is get a sense of what the unemployment rate is in all of these different areas. Does anyone know what the best way to get a sense of the unemployment rate in a local area is? Anyone? Anyone have any ideas? That's right, we're doing a direct survey. What this means is that we're talking directly to anyone that resides in any of the communities or locales in Super Mario Sunshine and using whatever information we can find out to determine if they're employed or unemployed. It sounds simple, but just let me demonstrate with our very first survey candidate. This guy's upset about graffiti. He says that this is his wall. Oh no, it looks kind of like a radio tower. So this is probably where the Debs alerts broadcast from, which means if this is his building, he's probably employed. Thank you for your employment, angry sir. Isn't that fun? I mean, think about what we just did, right? There's a guy complaining, he claims ownership over the building, and then we take context clues to tell us what the building might be, and ergo, we've determined that he's the property owner of the radio broadcasting station. So really what this is it's a combination of what these people say, what they're doing, what they're wearing, where they're standing, and any other context clues that we can find.
Literally
now,
anything.
Let's talk about Delfino Plaza as a whole, right? Delfino Plaza is the tourist hub of Isle Delfino. It has beautiful streets, quaint canals, blah, 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 and it's from here that any visitor can travel to the various other appealing locations on the island. For the most part, things aren't too complicated economically. You've got 4 people working at the market, you've got some sailors that are presumably employed based on their dress, you've got someone carrying mushrooms to sell, you've got some police officers. All of these people are employed. And honestly, I'm jealous of them. Sometimes I wish I could just work at a food stand and sell food to people. I think I'd be good at it. Hey, come buy my food. What kind of food is it? It's Caribbean spiced tofu from today's sponsor, Factor. Gotcha. In a way, I guess in that sense, I kind of am. We also have this guy who forces sunglasses on unsuspecting tourists, kind of like those people you find outside of Central Park. You know,
oh my God.
Come up to you and then force stuff into your hands, and then they pressure you to pay for it.
Oh my God, we have people like that in Boston. It's so fucking annoying. They're like, hey, it's a very common tourist scam too. I think they touched on it a little bit in Infinite Wealth, actually. Um, in that one sub story with the fucking tourist who kept getting caught up in a bunch of scams. And it was really funny watching that and like, yep, I've seen that kind of person in Boston. Oh yeah, I've seen that kind of person. Yep, yep. So yeah, like we have like the monks that will push jewelry on you and then try to make you pay for it. It's a very common scam. Um, the t-shirt salesman. Like, hey, check out this Boston t-shirt. Hey, that's like $50. First off, I'm not paying $50 for a t-shirt unless it's like fucking cashmere. Second of all, go fuck yourself. Yeah, like
I think this guy's kind of like that, so he's employed. Now, where things get complicated is that there are
employed in so much that he's in so much that he's receiving money for something he's doing.
a lot of people in Delfino Plaza, and honestly, in this game as a whole, who just sit around. They don't do anything. They don't work, or they don't seem to work. They look like they've never worked, which really leaves me no choice but to consider all of these additional people unemployed. 22 employed persons and 5 unemployed persons means that Delfino Plaza has an unemployment rate of 22.7%, which is not great, but also it's actually not much worse than the next area we have to survey, Bianco Hills. Bianco Hills is the first proper level in the game. Right when you enter the level, you're greeted by 3 people. One of them is another one of those guys who tries to get you to take sunglasses from him, so we're counting him as employed. Then we've got 2 other people, and these people, they don't really do much. You know, you're the one person who visits me over and over. Well, you never move, do you? My thought was that they might be some sort of like greeter for this area, but if that were the case, they should be like standing at the ready, you know? Saying hi to the Mario when he comes in, which they don't do. They're kind of like pacing in circles. Ultimately, I think they're both unemployed. The rest of this level is full of beautiful windmills and a field of coconut trees. There's a family here. There's some people hanging out near the windmills. Obviously, it's hard to say, but I think we can assume that these people are working on or sort of near the windmills. I'm not entirely sure what they're milling, honestly, but there are coconut trees here, so maybe it's like a coconut sugar mill. I don't know. Now, I'm sure it's
Coconut sugar mill. That's an interesting take on it.
obvious by this point, but compared to Skyrim, Isle Delfino is not exactly an employment-forward community. Basically, everyone in Skyrim immediately tells you their job the second you talk to them.
Name's Nils. I'm the cook up at Candlehearth Hall.
But here, mostly, people don't say anything meaningful at all. This leaves us to rely pretty heavily on context clues like an archaeologist might when examining an ancient dig site. So despite the fact that this guy doesn't have much to say, I think he's employed. Here's why. I feel like if he was unemployed, why would he be standing in this very specific spot, guarding the bridge wearing a hat? He'd be lazing around somewhere. But he's not. He's dancing, he's working. He is standing in a very specific, like, notable spot, so I'm gonna go with employed. There's another guy standing in front of a cave in Bianco Hills as well, which we're counting as employment. And then there's this guy, who I'm pretty sure is a journalist because he's dressed like a journalist, and he said he came here to see how things were in the wake of some sort of recent disaster, which just feels like journalist behavior. Altogether, Bianco Hills has a local population of 13, with 8 employed persons, 2 unemployed people, and 3 people not applicable, giving this area an unemployment rate of 20%. Not looking good so far, but we have a long way to go. The bustling shipping port of Rico
bridge
Harbor
toll.
is our next stop, and you know you would think
Bridge toll,
the
yeah.
shipping port would be a real bastion of employment, and it's not. But in this case, it's actually slightly worse off than Bianco Hills. Sure, you've got some people working the port, right? There's a ship captain, he's got his crew, there are people scrubbing the ships, there's a guy renting out squids, but then you've also got this guy who's treating this active port like a hotel pool, unemployed, and you've got these two
That
who just
is-
at the start of the level and
Hold on. Like,
his crew, there are people scrubbing the ships, there's a guy renting out squids, but then you've also got this guy
I never knew about this guy. What episode does he show up in? Oh my god, that's hilarious.
treating this active port like a hotel pool, unemployed, and you've got these
Yeah, that's
people who just stand
unemployed
at the start
behavior.
of the level and gossip. Unemployed behavior for sure. In total, Rico Harbor has 13 people in it, and only 2 of those people are actually physically on a boat doing work. Every other sailor is standing around kind of observing, and if you pay close attention, you might see why. A lot of this port is automated, which of course is very efficient, but I almost wonder if that's why we're seeing a slightly higher rate of unemployment here than we might expect. Maybe these 2 people are actually recently laid off dock workers. Hopefully they had a strong union and got themselves a generous severance package. In total, Rico Harbor has a population of 13, one of which is a...
But even like an automated port still needs people to observe and manage it, you know? So maybe like this guy that's like standing, like, not that guy.
Real bastion of employment, and it's not, but in this case, it's actually slightly worse off than Bianco Hills. Sure, you've got some people working the port, right?
Like these guys. Like, yeah, like you said, that's the ship captain. That's probably his first mate. But, like, even an automated port, you still gotta, like, manage everything, you know? You gotta make sure nothing's breaking. You gotta make sure everything's working right. Hi, Mel, how are you? Like, you still gotta make sure everything's on the up and up, you know? Everything's not going to shit.
Package. In total, Rico Harbor has a population of 13, one of which is a child, and 3 people unemployed, giving it an unemployment rate of 25%.
Jesus
so far,
Christ.
Things aren't looking super good for Isle Delfino. When your literal port has a 25% unemployment rate, well, that doesn't bode well. That being said, we still haven't gotten to the main industry for this island, which is, of course, tourism. Welcome to Gelato Beach, a beachfront resort just a short swim away from the lovely Pina Amusement Park. Gelato Beach is not in great shape. Nobody wants to swim because the waters are dangerous. Nobody is working at the tiki bar. There honestly just aren't that many people here overall. It feels like this is basically meant to be the Isle Delfino equivalent of the Polynesian resort at Disney World, but for the most part, it's pretty underutilized. Currently, the only people actually visiting the resort are these 4 people, and none of them seem to be having any fun at all, except this lady who's having fun bullying her partner. I told you what a bad swimmer this guy was, right? Why are you... Here's a pro tip for you guys. If any of you are in a relationship, don't ever...
I love the little GameCube discs in the corners here. It's a really nice little touch on the video.
Put down your partner in front of an Italian man. It's bad form. Aside from that, there are only 5 people here. One of them is the sunglasses con artist. One of them is the bouncer at the tiki bar or something like that. 2 of them are just sitting around unemployed.
I love that we have just established that the sunglasses man is a con artist. That's great.
And one of them is an old retired guy. If you're paying attention, you've already put together that means Gelato Beach has an unemployment rate of 50%. Yikes. I want to know exactly how this island resort ended up on the vacation itinerary of the most powerful woman in the world, given that so far, it hasn't really offered anything in the way of amenities or sightseeing. Maybe the princess is just a really big fan of theme parks. Welcome to Pina Park, aka Employment City. Interestingly, Pina Park is entirely staffed by Noki, which are a species or a race? I guess it's a race. These are people who look like little seashells. The park is vibrant, it's bright, it's exciting. Families of Piantas, the other race on the island, are visiting the park. Fathers are bonding with their children. It's a pretty big juxtaposition from Gelato Beach. And the best part is, this is not a joke, 100% of the people that can work here are working here. There are 15 people residing in the area, 2 of them are children, and the other 13 are all doing various things around the park, from maintenance to greeting to performing to running the rides. This is more in line with what we were expecting, I think, that these high employment areas would counterbalance the more residential or leisure-focused areas. Hopefully that trend continues as we go through the game, and it might, because the next place we're visiting is a hotel. This is Serena Beach. And guess what? This place also has 100% employment. Throw a pizza party. The vast majority of people here are visiting tourists from other parts of the island. You can tell because when you play the Shadow Mario level, the hotel guests have all been evacuated onto the beach, and those evacuees outnumber the hotel staff 9 to 6. I lied, it's actually 22 to 7. I forgot to count the casino initially. They also complain a lot. Evacuate everyone. Oh, they evacuated everyone. This is very convenient for for me. Then we got these two people yelling at this poor worker. So you got two more tourists. Hello. You remember to stay out of the ladies' room. Okay, I will. I will not commit any sex crimes while I am at the hotel. Thanks for the reminder. They aren't happy being stuck outside, I guess. Which I guess fine, but also not fine. Chill. Underneath the hotel is a dingy casino, which is pretty funny to me. Did you know that there is only one staff member down here at the casino? Everyone else is just a patron eagerly gambling the night away. It's a popular spot though, and people seem to be having a great time, so I guess whatever.
Except this
Hotel
guy.
Delfino and Pina Park are by far the two most economically successful regions on the island, which is kind of weird to me. I mean, we'll get into it more later, but I kind of thought that this was supposed to be like Venice or...
Because, yeah, like... yeah, you'd think like a shipping port would be economically successful, and it probably is. But automation does have its costs.
Hawaii, like a rich cultural history, beautiful nature places, but it turns out it might actually be more like Florida with dopamine-oriented man-made entertainment attractions. And don't get me wrong, I like Florida, but its reputation is somewhat less wholesome and beautiful than what I thought Isle Delfino was going for. We only have 2 more levels to cover. First up, Noki Bay. This one's easy. There really aren't any people here. I think it's maybe 5 in total. There's a family of Noki, including an old guy, 2 younger people, and a baby. And then there's a raccoon that's overcharging for boat rentals. You know, the raccoons in this game are all very nice, but it's funny to me how every one of them is like a ruthless small business owner. I'm not sure if that's just like a reflection of a perceived earthly social phenomenon with regards to immigrant communities and small businesses, or if there's some like Japanese joke there.
I was
about
gonna say,
Japanese
it's
being good with
kind
money
of
that I don't
more the
understand. But I
Tanuki.
find it very amusing. Every person in Noki Bay, aside from the baby child, is working in some capacity. The family seems to be doing like light kind of almost tour guide work and also like caretaking the land, which makes this place feel sort of like a national park or like an archaeological site maybe. But the important thing for us is that everyone in Noki Bay, just like the last 2 places, is employed. From Noki Bay, we make our way to the last official level of the game, Pianta Village. I wish I could tell you that Pianta Village also has a 100% employment rate like the last few places we've
Like
looked,
Tom
but
Nook,
it's
exactly.
kind of the opposite. Sort of. Pianta Village really represents what's so complicated about enumerating this whole game, which is that the Piantas they really just love sitting around doing nothing. There are a total of 24 people in this village, and aside from children and the elderly, 10 of those people don't have any discernible role in the village other than sitting around enjoying life, which is, of course, not a job. You're not supposed to enjoy life. You're supposed to work and be miserable. There are some people with obvious jobs here, like the mayor, the mayor's wife. There's a pool cleaner and some entertainers. But altogether, that only leaves 9 people formally employed here, which is less than the 10 people who aren't employed, which means, guess what? Pianta Village has the highest unemployment rate of any location on the island at 53%.
Jesus.
What? Just wild. You would think that no society could function if half of the able-bodied people in it didn't work, and yet it does seem to be...
I mean, here's the thing, is like, yes, you've got the high unemployment rates of like Pianta Village and Gelato Beach, but I feel like that's offset by the 0% unemployment rate in Pina Park, and Serena Beach.
Functioning. How could this be possible? Before we actually try to figure out how that's possible and whether or not Isle Delfino is in a good place economically, there are a couple of other non-level locations we have to quickly add into our calculus. Firstly, there's a cutscene where Mario gets sent to court, and that cutscene has 1 judge and 1 lawyer, both of whom are employed.
Cops.
Just before that, when you first arrive on Isle Delfino, there are also 4 employed people working at the airport. Also at the airport are 2 tourists who seem to be waiting to leave Isle Delfino to go on vacation, which I think is kind of fun. I don't know where they're going. I like to think they're actually headed to Sochi in Russia, because canonically, Piantas have been to Russia. I don't know if you remember that from the background of Mario and Sonic at the 2014 Sochi Olympic Games. Anyway, that adds 6 more people into the unemployment pool, which makes a total of... You know, I'm going to need to get a calculator and add all this data up. So give me just a second. In fact, why don't I'm going to take all this information we've gathered and just put together a full report on Isle Delfino, and I'll come right back and I'm going to present that information to you, okay? Hold on 1 sec. I'll be right back. Okay, hello, folks. Welcome to the... Excuse me, hello. Today we're going to be talking about the economic situation on Isle Delfino. So strap in, make sure your phones are on silent, obviously, for this, because we have a lot to get through, and I don't want to be interrupted. Total surface payroll employment on Isle Delfino is at 76 persons, and unemployment is at 22.5%, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Isle Delfino is a tropical island known for its amenable climate, laid-back culture, and wide variety of appealing destinations for tourism. The island as a whole has a population of roughly 150, the majority of whom are a race known as the Piantas. There are also Nokis, a smaller bipedal shelled creature they reside in various communities on the island, and raccoons, furry business-minded people that make up the smallest portion of the demography. The main industry on Isle Delfino, is tourism, and nearly every area on the island has been developed for some sort of tourist use. Based on our observations, the local population seems content with the availability of resources in their community, and the Bureau didn't witness any abject poverty during our survey. That being said, the calculated unemployment rate is 22.5%, which is very high. One of the key takeaways from our survey is that the amusement park, Pina Park, is far and away the main attraction for anyone coming into the area, and the nearby hotel, Hotel Delfino, is the primary place that visitors stay when they're on the island. Other attractions, like the resort at Gelato Beach, are all but ignored, with only a few adventurous tourists, abandoned entertainment complexes, and severely understaffed restaurants. Beautiful nature preserves like Noki Bay are also entirely unvisited, forcing local business owners to charge exorbitant fees just to stay afloat. In terms of population distribution, the most populous areas are, unsurprisingly, Pianta Village and Delfino Plaza. The least populous area is Noki Bay. A ranked list is displayed on your screen of each area and its population count, so feel free to pause and peruse that information as necessary. It should be noted that given the size of this survey, some error is expected in our data. Each location on the island is constantly changing, and from one day to the next, our enumerator may not have had access to every portion of each municipality. While the Bureau always does everything we can to ensure that the right conclusions are drawn from the data gathered, some inconsequential oversights may have occurred. The Bureau always strives for the highest level of accuracy, and we welcome any feedback from the public. One of the major face value concerns for the economy on Isle Delfino is how the unemployment is divided up demographically. Of the 21 people unemployed on the island, 100% of them are Piantas. There isn't a single Noki or
I never really thought about
that's
that.
unemployed.
I never really thought about that. Yeah, like all the Nokis that you see are actually doing stuff.
To this as a face value concern, because if we saw something similar on Earth, we would generally consider it a sort of red alert situation, but in the context of Isle Delfino, there doesn't seem to be much discontent among the residents about this fact. Everyone on the island seems perfectly happy to be working if they're working, and perfectly happy to be unemployed if they're unemployed, which implies that, at least in large part, their basic needs are being met regardless of their employment status. The most likely explanation for this arrangement is that the island's foray into modern entertainment tourism has been so lucrative, and the entrepreneurial involvement from residents so extensive that at any given time a large portion of the population can afford to maintain a state of semi-permanent vacation. It may seem counterintuitive to us here on Earth, but there's no technical reason why, within a single community, the effort required to generate enough...
I mean, yeah, if they're generating enough revenue, they can easily afford to, meet everyone's basic needs with things like single-payer healthcare, and like welfare, things like food stamps and stuff like that. Things like food assistance and such.
Revenue to sustain the population couldn't be less than the labor available from that same population, and as long as everyone agrees to use that surplus of revenue to sustain the community as a whole, you could have a large sub-demographic of people who just don't work and don't need to work without causing acute stress on the system as a whole. However, systems like this aren't common, and there are two reasons why they tend not to sustain over long periods of time. Firstly, it only takes a handful of selfish actors to unravel the arrangement, it only takes a handful of selfish actors to unravel the entire arrangement fairly quickly. As soon as any participant in the system starts feeling as though their share of the resources should be commensurate with their perceived level of participation in the generation of those resources, they can quickly form a coalition with the other high-effort participants and override the social order. Assuaging this concern is difficult because you either have to convince the population that they don't deserve more resources just because they believe they're doing more work, or you have to somehow ensure that everyone is participating more or less equally in the labor, which disincentivizes or outright forbids anyone from overperforming and can ultimately cause the apparatus that's generating the resources, in this case a stunning modern entertainment complex featuring amusement parks, hotels, and casinos, to deteriorate in quality and lose the very patrons that are generating the revenue to care for the island's residents. This is a dense report, you guys, my god. The other major risk here is that when you create an island paradise that allows 30% of the population to relax all the time, outsiders are going to want to be part of that island paradise. As more people move to Isle Delfino to enjoy the fruits of their economic system, the burden on the island's resources will grow, and eventually there will no longer be a gap between the resources available and the labor required to generate those resources, meaning people won't be able to sit around vacationing anymore. One way to control this is by having strict immigration policies, which based on the demographic makeup of the island might already be in place here, but a heavy-handed and top-down approach to immigration control also tends to backfire. It's a complex problem to solve, and we hope that the government of Isle Delfino can mitigate the risks associated elegantly and effectively, because the goal of allowing your citizens to labor as little as possible, thus allowing them to enjoy the beautiful fruits of human existence, is a noble one, and one that we at the Bureau hope one day will be achieved in full. Whether it will be achieved by the colorful cast of Super Mario Sunshine remains to be seen. And that brings us to the end of our report. That is the economic situation in Isle Delfino. Thank you very much for your time. I hope all of you have an excellent, beautiful day. Follow me on Instagram.
That was good. That was a good video. Man, we haven't watched a Chugs video in a while. Let's watch a Chugs video.
Time for a little stealth mission. You up for it?
Folks, you know what time it is, and you see what's going on behind me. It's time to break the boot out.
The
Oh,
boot.
yes.
Oh, fuck
We are
yeah.
about to chug a classic that we haven't chugged in a while. Oh, man. One of y'all suggested I do this, and for all my peeps in Scotland, this one is for you. Today, we are chugging
Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
Oh,
love
let's
this drink.
go.
I can't wait to do it, so it's time to get into it. Don't touch that mouse.
I actually found Iron Brew at a shop in my area. I was completely baffled.
Welcome back to Badlands Chugs, folks. And yes, this right here is a unique cola, okay? It's called Iron Brew. Oh, man. This right here is an enigma all the way from Scotland. It's an enigma to me because nothing tastes like Iron Brew. I span the globe.
That's probably true, yeah.
From the U.S. to the UK.
Like, you'd look at it, you'd see the orange color, and you'd think, oh, that's just like an orange cola, right? No. I, to this day, have not found anything that tastes quite like Iron Brew.
To India and Japan and everywhere in between.
Not even anything I had in Japan tasted quite.
Iron Brew.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me refresh my memory.
Not even anything I had in Japan tasted quite like Iron Brew.
Whew.
Good burp.
I can't describe the taste. I mean, by looking at it, people will say, oh, it's like cola champagne, you know, that they have, you know, in the Caribbean. No.
No.
Iron Brew is brewed in Scotland to a secret recipe since 1901. Oh, man. This thing is over 100 years old. And I know, just saying, it doesn't taste the same way it did back in 1901 because that one had real sugar, but they have Iron Brew 1901. You can get that one too. But y'all, let me start talking about what's going on. And put the proof in the pudding. Oh, man. Oh, That's it, folks. That's it. Oh my goodness. I just smelled it and it's 10 out of 10.
There's another drink that I've had that, again, doesn't. There's nothing I've had quite like it, and it's called Iron Beer. And despite the name, it is not a beer. It's a Cuban cola. And I don't know how quite to describe it. It's got like a little like spice kick to it. You know?
Let's crack these open. Ah, man. Ah, yes. And for all my US peeps, you notice I'm not taking the caps off, because they have a thing in the UK. Due to recycling, you leave the cap on, all right?
Yeah.
You can.
I mean, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, you can like rip the thing off, but UK bottles, and I encountered a couple bottles in Japan that were like this too. To encourage recycling, they have basically a flip cap. So you twist it, and then it just flips back. And the reason they do that is to encourage recycling the bottle. Because then you put the cap back on, you put it in the recycling bin. Everyone's happy, right?
Rip it off, But then you spill your drink, and that's not fun. Okay, we got 5, folks. So we're doing 5 today.
Because I think I had... What was it? Was it the Aquarius? Was it Aquarius that I had that cap? I had something that had that kind of cap when I was in Japan. It wasn't Pocari Sweat. I think it was... Was it Aquarius? I don't remember now.
I love these stealth chugs. I'm so glad that the weather is breaking. All that cold. It was not the move. Oh, man. But this is the time and where we get to enjoy this warm weather. We get to do these chugs outside and just enjoy life too. Oh, man. Yes. There's nothing like the great outdoors, folks. Nothing like it. Is 2 liters enough? Of course not. Come on.
No, of course
Please,
not.
let's
Never.
put it in there. Oh,
yeah, there we
Don't
go.
spill it.
Oh, wow.
Do not spill it. And we're saving the last wig for okay. Now I'm playing. Oh, see? That's what I get for teasing okay hip hop. Yo, we have plenty more Iron Brew in the garage. And yo, if you like the music that's playing,
I've never heard of this
go
drink.
visit OK Hip Hop on YouTube.
So he mentioned it at the top of the video, but it's a Scottish cola. It's been brewed in Scotland since 1901. If you have like an international market that sells like British snacks and drinks, you might be able to find it in the US, but I've typically had to import it on Amazon, off Amazon to get it in the US. I did find it at a shop near me once, but again, that was because they sold British snacks. So if you have an international market, like a international grocery store or something that sells like British snacks and drinks, you might be able to find it, but it's hit or miss.
This is all the way from Scotland. It's Iron Brew. Big ups to my peeps in Scotland. Oh my goodness. And this one is for you. Iron Brew. Over 2 liters worth. 3, 2, 1, folks. Enough talk. I'm going to take my time and do this one. It's only right. best. Oh, yes. Thank God for Iron Brew.
Oh, that was a good burp.
Oh,
9 out of
and
10.
to burp it too. Sorry, neighbors. Oh my goodness, my neighbors like, what the heck is that? Is it bear season? No, it's just big body badlands. Oh my goodness. But yo, I'm telling you, this is where it's at. All right. You can get it at a few places. All right.
Mhm.
Get it at your exotic soda shop. I think it's on Amazon too. You know.
That's
Mess
how I
around.
usually get it, is from Amazon.
Get it, folks. It's delicious. And yo, if you can find it, get that Iron Brew 1901. I'm telling you, that taste of real sugar really makes a difference, and that's how it was originally meant to taste. But yo, we are out, folks. Oh man, another.
I found that out actually when I was in Japan. Real sugar really does make a difference. Because I found myself drinking Pepsi a lot more than I would in the US because they use real sugar in their Pepsi in Japan. So I found myself at the arcade and I was getting like the Pepsi Refresh shots. I was getting like the Pepsi Raw. Whereas like in the US, I typically go for like a Coke or a Dr. Pepper because they don't like how sticky Pepsi is in the US because of how much corn syrup they use.
Beautiful day. I'm going to enjoy this sunset while I can. Oh, man. Yo, big ups to your boy, OK Hip Hop, for making the beats. Thank you so much. Yo, if you want the merch, my merch store is open. Find me on Cameo if you want a shout out. And we are gone. Peace and God bless. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ah. Chugging the world one bottle at a time. Badlands Chubbs is back.
That was good. Yeah, definitely if you can, I highly recommend trying to get some Iron Brew. You may have to do some hunting for it, but it is usually available on Amazon. Alright, what time is it? 9:40. We've been live for about a little over an hour. I'm gonna take a break before the next video. Just get up and stretch and all that good stuff. So I will be right back. Ugh. So I do want to know, what's everyone kind of like looking forward to this year? Like, are there any any specific games that y'all are looking forward to this year? Let me see what's on my Steam wish list. The only thing I'm specifically looking forward to this year is the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Neck potato now. I've always been a potato. Griff, Potato Snek is just a running joke on the channel. It's become the go-to name whenever I have to name a character. It's just a recurring bit. Because today, Potato Snek has been a sim, 3 different Pokemon trainers, 3 different Persona protagonists. So was there anything else? I'm trying to think. The Direct is probably going to be the last thing we watch today, too. Now that I think about it. Which is a shame. I had everybody's favorite best friend, Sausage Man. I had some Sausage Man ready to go. But then I remembered about the Direct. Because I know how much you all love the food crimes that come from Sausage Man. Is this a suggest vid stream? It was. Well, originally it was a Sims 3 stream. But then I had trouble with Sims 3 that I could not fix live. So it became a videos and chill, which would have been a suggest videos stream. But then I opened my recommends, and I saw that Korone was doing a watch along. I'm like, oh shit, there's a Direct today. So now we're going to live react to the Nintendo Direct when it starts. Which is in about 5 minutes. So now we're just hanging out for a little bit. Dang, one of these days I'll catch one. Today would have been the day if not for this Direct. I don't do them as often as I used to. Partly because sometimes it just takes time for me to get good videos to watch. You know? Like, I don't always have, like, good videos to watch. Alright, chat. What's the over-under that I choke on my pretzels during the Direct? Obviously, Snek needs to hire Video Finder. I mean, sometimes I have good videos. 75-25. Is that 75% yes, I'll choke, or 25% yes, I'll choke? Yes to no. So very likely that I choke on my pretzels. Excellent. And I'm just on this screen till the Direct starts. Like, we probably could have watched, like, one video. Like, because I think I have, like, a short one. I'm putting my points on no. Snack, like most people, like snacks. I do enjoy a good snack. Case in point, I'm snacking during stream. Oh, hold on. There you go. There's some fucking pretzel chewing ASMR for you. I almost never get to watch these live because they're usually on, like, because they had usually typically been like during a morning shift. So I typically had to just dodge spoilers and then watch it on a VOD like the next day with chat. I almost never get to see a Nintendo Direct live. I think I've done one live Direct since I've come back to streaming and started doing React content. Excuse me. Yeah, let's see. How many people are live right now that are doing? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people in my recommends that are doing watch-alongs. All right, let's go back over here because it is almost time. I'm watching it on the Nintendo of America because I'm American. All right, it's 10 o'clock. Here we go. Here we go, chat. Dragon Quest? Catching the live. Okay. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake.
Hello everyone, I'm Shinya Takahashi, and I'll be your guide for today's Nintendo Direct.
Okay.
Today, we'll be providing information on upcoming Nintendo Switch games. We'll also have a Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd.
Oh shit.
So please tune in for that.
I knew about that one.
What you just saw
Wednesday.
Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake from Square Enix.
So that's Wednesday, chat.
Another character appeared at the end. What kind of adventure awaits? We hope you're excited for more information in the future.
I'm personally not a big Dragon Quest person.
Let's see the first batch of headlines.
So, alright, let's go.
Escape from dire straits.
No hope.
2 minutes until oxygen 0. Help me! Please help me, Dante!
The latest entry in the The Somnium Files series is
Ooh.
stirring. You are Kaname Date, a special agent with a sophisticated AI called Aiba embedded in his left eye. Your mission is to track down Iris, an internet idol who has been trapped in a mysterious escape game. Conduct interviews to investigate Iris's whereabouts. Dive into a subject's dreams to reveal clues hidden deep within their psyche. And solve mind-bending puzzles in an explorable environment. Everything you learn will bring you one step closer to the truth. Uncover what's hidden in reality and dreams to rescue Iris. No Sleep for Kaname Date from The Somnium Files launches on the Nintendo Switch system.
Alright,
July
that's
26th.
interesting.
Unleash the supernatural.
Can't wait for smooth brain clips of people trying. Oh, it's gonna be great. SMT?
A classic Atlas action RPG returns with remastered HD graphics and enhanced gameplay.
Raido
Set in
Kuzunoha?
Capital City in the
Yo.
year Taisho 20, Raido Kuzunoha makes his living as an apprentice detective. But unbeknownst to others, he also fights alongside demons as a devil summoner.
SMT, let's go!
Raido must investigate a series of supernatural cases. Fight in real-time battles alongside demons you summon. Work with your demons to strike an enemy's weak point, then follow up with a powerful attack. Cooperation is the key to victory. You can even turn opposing demons into allies. Demons can also be useful
Jack Frost!
outside of battle. And their powers are helpful in finding solutions during investigations. Guide Raido through a series of strange incidents
I assume you're the bird who gave us a call?
as he uncovers a conspiracy that will shake the capital to its core. Raido Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army, launches on Nintendo Switch June 19th.
Yo!
Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop. Consume darkness. With your memories gone, you have been summoned to a strange, unfamiliar world, where you're greeted by a yellow orb known as Puck. But who is this spherical stranger? Moored in a mysterious, maze-like world, your battle for survival begins. As Puck guides you on your journey, you'll delve deeper into the expansive world. By examining your surroundings, you can phase shift and combine with Puck to explore areas you couldn't reach before. But tread lightly. The creatures inhabiting this world
Bandai
will prove
Namco.
hostile. When facing
Making a
imposing
Pac-Man
enemies,
ass
you and Puck
gameplay mechanic, that checks
fuse into
out.
the Gaia form to unleash powerful attacks.
So this
By
looks like a
consuming your
Metroidvania.
prey, you'll collect resources that can then be used to enhance your abilities. Work to uncover Puck's true goal and devour enemies to survive this cruel world. Experience a dark twist on the iconic Pac-Man when Shadow Labyrinth launches on Nintendo Switch July 18th.
Vibes of that one animation.
The rhythmic march begins. Remasters of Patapon and Patapon 2 are drumming onto Nintendo Switch as one bundle. Play your drum to the beat
Patapon?
and give different commands to the Patapon army. For example, Pata Pata Patapon advances them forward, while Pon Pon Patapon has them attack. And if you string together combos with good timing, the Patapons enter fever mode and get a big boost in power. From the horse-riding Kibapon to the shield-savvy Tatepon, build up your battalion to take on hordes of fierce foes.
This is a show with a
New
series of
features have been
game-inspired
added, so you can
episodes.
advance to the beat of
Interesting.
your own drum.
Patapon, huh?
Meet the Patapons and March 4th, when Patapon 1+2 Replay launches on Nintendo Switch July 11th. Welcome to Zephyrtown, a cozy place nestled in a windswept valley. This is where your new life begins.
Harvest Moon? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's called Stories of Seasons now.
First cropping up on the Nintendo DS system, this immersive farming and life sim has no shortage of activities to get up to.
Oh, you must be the new farmer.
Tend to your farm while growing crops and caring for animals.
Harvest Moon, let's go!
Then sell your produce and other wares at the town's weekly bazaar. As bazaar sales grow, you'll help the once famous market regain its former splendor.
Inspiring, honestly.
You can also get to know the locals
I'd like to spend more time with you.
and maybe nurture a relationship if you find that special someone.
But can I marry other women?
Plus, taking advantage of Zephyr Town's windy conditions can make travel and other tasks a breeze.
That's what I want to know. Reject stick market, return to farm. Exactly.
The winds of change are coming, and your new life on the farm begins when Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar launches on the Nintendo
Interesting.
Switch system August 27th.
I've never played a Harvest Moon game or Story of Seasons.
Please look forward to the latest entry in the Story of Seasons series. Next, please take a look at this.
Ooh, Metroid Prime 4. Yo, actual gameplay, let's go.
This is the unknown planet Vuros. Here, Samus finds a verdant jungle with a colossal tree at its center. In order to survive,
Looks
Samus
really
settled this
good.
planet that she was unexpectedly transported to. Samus must scan stone figures and other relics to carve a path forward. She's not alone, though. Abhorrent, alien creatures living in the jungle are waiting to strike.
This probably has higher res textures for the Switch 2.
As she explores the planet, Samus is granted mysterious and ancient powers. Psychic abilities.
What?
These powers allow Samus to operate mechanisms and to open doors.
Huh?
They also allow her to control the trajectory of her beams with the power of her mind. But
That's
why
silly.
were these powers bestowed upon Samus?
Morph ball.
And what will be her fate after being summoned to
Metroids.
The threads
But what I want to
intertwined
know is,
space
does it have dual
and time
stick?
are beginning to weave a new tale.
Does it have dual stick like the Metroid Prime remastered? Coming this year. We swear it's coming this year. Can't wait to start new Metroid with cool powers and lose them all 3 minutes in. That's assuming you start with them.
It looks like even more challenges await Samus. We hope
Psychic powers is
explore
silly, though.
Samus's new
I love
psychic
it.
abilities.
Like, this is... I'm not saying this is a bad
Let's
thing.
move on to
I
the
love it.
Lines.
She doesn't need to be psychic if she's already so overpowered, but that's why she loses her powers at the start of every game.
Once upon a time, there was a drab coffee shop that transformed into a magical potion cafe.
Huh?
As the newest potionista of the Cursed Cafe, you'll
Gaston.
craft concoctions for Disney villains and get to know them in a new light. Mix ingredients to brew all sorts of strange elixirs. Then serve them to your villainous visitors, including Ursula and Gaston. With help from Yzma, You can upgrade your ingredients to produce some wildly wicked creations. The potions you make can influence each customer's storylines, leading to different outcomes every time you play. Who knows what mischief might happen? Disney Villains Cursed Cafe launches on Nintendo Switch later today. Summon a spellbinding adventure.
Pixel art? Okay, I'm interested.
Welcome to Witchbrook College, where students strive to master the magical arts. During class, use magic circles to perform rituals, fly on brooms, and learn advanced techniques to go from witch in training to skilled spellcaster. There's also plenty
Like now
to
they're
do
just
outside
giving her more
class.
ways to kill things. I'm fine with
Hang out
it,
friends in
honestly.
their homes. Take on various jobs to help pay for tuition. Or use the spells you've learned to craft and sell original items.
Okay.
Up to 4 players can make magic together in online co-op. Explore this whimsical world on the road to graduation and beyond. Are you ready for a spellbinding journey?
Interesting.
Enrollment begins when Witchbrook flies onto Nintendo Switch this holiday.
I'm curious, but I want to know more.
Action, adventure, and arcade games await.
Arcade games?
Set off on a fantastical mission to eliminate a mysterious deity. In this hand-drawn platforming adventure, you'll explore an expansive archipelago where nightmares and wonder collide. Upgrade your trusty cane with magical parts. Then use its abilities to find your own path through the enchanted
Oh, so it's the
world.
Okay, so it's like
Secrets the
DuckTales.
archipelago holds? Find out when the Eternal Life
Or,
Program launches
Cranky
on
Kong's
Nintendo
gameplay
Switch
in
this holiday.
Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Celebrate the 40th anniversary of Gradius with a collection of arcade shoot-'em-up games from across the series.
Huh?
Titles include Gradius, Salamander, Light Force, Gradius 2,
Oh my god.
Gradius 3, and Salamander 2. Some
I've
titles
played-
come with multiple versions, including ones from different regions and launch years. Plus,
Interesting.
take the helm in a brand new entry, Salamander 3. Gradius Origins launches on the Nintendo Switch system August 7th.
Good old
Pre-orders begin later
shmups.
today on Nintendo eShop.
Interesting.
Battle to the beat in Rift of the Necro Dancer. Press the corresponding buttons in each lane to fight monsters in rhythm-based combat. Keep the cadence going with epic boss battles, quirky minigames, remix stages, and global leaderboards. Plus, more musical mayhem awaits in the Celeste Music Pack paid DLC. And be on the lookout for more DLC in the future.
Pizza Tower.
Rift of the Necro Dancer launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Bullet Heaven and Hell.
Let's see what's in store.
Huh? Wait, I recognize.
Tamagotchi Plaza, a brand new entry in the
Tam-
Tamagotchi Connection
I
series.
hate the way he's pronouncing
There are
Tamagotchi.
Stores galore. Design glasses at the eyewear shop. Polish pearly whites solo or with a friend at the dentist. And arrange plates at the afternoon tea shop. 12 wonderful stores need your help. Provide good customer service to get high ratings and upgrade each shop.
Oh, they have plaid skirts. Someone's gonna make
In doing
Suisei
so,
within like
you'll get
5
to meet
minutes
more
of this game
Tamagotchi,
coming out.
making the town lively from the beginning.
Someone's gonna make
With over
Suisei's
100
outfit
new
within
and
5
classic
minutes.
Tamagotchi, business is sure to be booming. Get ready to set up shop when Tamagotchi Plaza launches on Nintendo Switch June 27th.
Please God, stop pronouncing it like that.
to Pokemon Legends ZA, a new title in the Pokemon series.
Yo.
You'll begin your adventure
Totodile!
with 3 partner Pokemon. The setting is this metropolis that also appeared in the Pokemon X and Pokemon Y games.
Lumio City.
City. To make it easier for people and Pokemon to coexist, a company named Quasartico Inc. is carrying out an urban redevelopment plan.
Okay.
We'll get a glimpse into the lives of the Pokemon and people of Lumio City. Scattered all over town are wild zones. These areas are special environments where wild Pokemon can live comfortably, even within the city.
Interesting.
You can catch Pokemon here. But they might be hostile. If you sense trouble, get to safety. There are Pokemon that live outside wild zones too. Some of them can even be found on rooftops. People and Pokemon live easygoing lives in Lumio City. But when night falls, the city's aura transforms. Highly skilled trainers are invited to participate in a tournament, the ZA Royale. Trainers await in battle zones. If you're spotted, they'll challenge you to battle. Strike first before being seen, and you'll land a surprise attack. During battles, using a super effective move at the right moment is key. And with Mega Evolution, some Pokemon can power up even more. You'll start at rank Z and work your way up to rank A.
Oh my god.
Trainers who reach the top are said to have a wish granted. Day and night are 2 sides to Lumio City. It seems there are even more secrets waiting to be uncovered. What will you find on your adventure? Pokemon Legends ZA launches on Nintendo Switch later this year.
Ooh, that looks really fun, honestly.
In Lumio City, where the game is set, the aura transforms between day and night. It seems there are even more secrets to uncover. Please be on the lookout for more information in the future. Next, please take a look at this.
We'll probably hear more this summer.
Hello there. Boop. The game you're about to see. Boop. Doesn't
Why do you have
any
Ashes
physics
Lucario? How do you know that's Ashes?
But what it does have is lots of funny little rhythm games. Boop. You wanna see? Boop. Just press the button to jump through the ring. Boop.
I know things, Swag.
It sounds easy. But the timing is super tricky. Boop. Maybe you could try it in time to a rhythm. In this game, you might do almost anything, but you'll need to do it in rhythm. With practice, you might even be able to play it with your eyes closed.
I'm gonna be honest, this doesn't seem nearly as fun.
New entry in the Rhythm Heaven series.
Yeah, Rhythm Heaven. Nice call on that one, Yoko.
Heaven Groove.
That was Rhythm Heaven Groove, a brand new entry in the Rhythm Heaven series. It includes lots of music produced by renowned Japanese musician Tsunku. What kinds of rhythms do you think you'll hear?
It was the you that gave it away. Ah.
Next, we have news about the use of digital games on your system. Please take a look.
With game cards, you can put a game featuring Mario in this Nintendo Switch system and a Legend of Zelda game in this one. Freely inserting the games you have on hand into any system you want. But what if digital games could be as flexible and convenient as game cards? Well, here's what we came up with. Introducing the Virtual Game Card. In the future, virtual game cards can be used for digital games. When purchasing the digital version of a game, it will be loaded onto your system as a virtual game card, allowing you to play that title.
Interesting.
Your digital games will be lined up as virtual game cards on a dedicated management screen. Here, you can load and eject your virtual game cards and manage which games you can play on your system.
I mean, this just feels like game cards. Anything about the Switch 2? No.
If you have two
That'll be
Nintendo
next
Switch
week.
systems, you can eject a virtual game card from one and load it onto the second. Now you can play this game on the second system wherever and whenever you want, just as if you had inserted a physical game card. With virtual game cards,
This is
you can
specifically for
preload and arrange
games.
which games you play on up to 2 systems. Local communication with your second system is required, but only the first time.
You don't have, you know why? Or do, I just don't have it on sound alerts.
To your Nintendo account family group members. Connect to your family group member system via local wireless when you want to lend a game. Choose the title you're lending and who you're lending it to. And you're done. They can now play on their own system.
So we can play a game even if we don't own it.
You can only
Basically.
lend one game at a time to a particular person. Games can be lent out for 2 weeks, after which they will automatically return to you. Making digital games even easier to use. Virtual Game Card.
The Virtual Game Card feature lets you swap games between Nintendo Switch systems as well as to Nintendo Switch 2 systems.
Oh.
This feature is planned to be added via a system update in late April.
Can you
Let's take
turn
a
up the
look
VOD?
at more Nintendo Switch games.
Can't hear it? Well, I'm trying to make it so it doesn't overpower me. But sure, I can turn it up. High on life, okay. Moose Lagoon.
Uncover history once more. An HD remaster of Saga Frontier 2 is venturing on to Nintendo Switch. Meet Gustav, the Royal Heir, and Will, the Explorer. 2 heroes whose fates and legacies will intertwine across generations in this epic RPG. Experience the original story, along with brand new events that expand the vibrant world of Sondale. Plus, team up with more characters in battle. And transfer stats to allies through the parameter inheritance system. After finishing the main story, you can test your mettle and might against even more powerful bosses. What histories will you uncover through the ages? Saga Frontier 2 Remastered launches on Nintendo Switch later today.
Oh, wow.
Monumental adventures await.
Okay.
Embark on peaceful journeys across this series of beautiful puzzle games. Wander through isometric worlds filled with stunning landscapes to manipulate, optical illusions to discover, and mystifying secrets to unfold. In Monument Valley, lead the silent Princess Ida in her quest for forgiveness while outsmarting the enigmatic Crow people. A different journey awaits in Monument Valley 2.
It's opening day, it sure is.
Adventure through motherhood as she and her child unlock the secrets of the sacred geometry. Both games contain all their additional chapters, add-ons, and DLC.
Interesting.
The first two Monument Valley games launch on Nintendo Switch April 15th. Pre-orders begin later today on Nintendo eShop. And help Noor on her journey to restore the world's light in Monument Valley 3, setting sail on Nintendo Switch this summer.
Golf game.
A brand new entry.
Everybody's golf! Let's go!
Thriving onto Nintendo Switch.
Oh my gosh!
Time your button press just right and take your shot.
Nice shot.
Perform backspins, side spins, and other special shots. In the single-player challenge mode, compete in tournaments and face off against a range of rivals to become the ultimate golfer. In Wacky Golf, your shots could get pulled into holes, or obstacles might fall. It's golf that's not quite par for the course. Up to 4 golfers can hit the fairway together locally or in online play. So just relax and get ready to tee off. Everybody's Golf Hot Shots lands on Nintendo Switch this year.
Nice. Alright. Captain America.
Unite some of Marvel's greatest superheroes in the fight against evil. 2 heroes from the roster of 15, including the likes of the spectacular Spider-Man and the ferocious Wolverine, to take on the challenge. From close quarters combatants to aerial aces, you can mix and match a variety of heroes for an amazing array of possibilities. And swap between your team of 2 at any time. Take advantage of your team's strengths to overwhelm your foes. Plus, up to 4 players can assemble for local or online co-op play. The battle for the
Good old arcade
Marvel
beat 'em up.
universe begins when Marvel Cosmic Invasion launches on the Nintendo Switch system this holiday.
Interesting.
That was Marvel Cosmic Invasion, where you'll battle as a tag team of different superheroes. Next is our last game announcement. Please take a look.
Okay. What do we got? No way! No way! Tomodachi Life 2! There's no way!
How refreshing.
No, it's not. No, that's... This is Tomodachi Life.
Tomodachi Life. Living the dream.
Let's go! Tomodachi Life! Next year, let's fucking go!
want to talk?
Aw. Glad that was only a dream.
That was Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, the first new entry in the series in over 10 years. In the trailer, we saw Mii characters living on an island out at sea. What kinds of interactions do you think they'll have? We hope you're looking forward to it.
I fucking loved Tomodachi Life on the 3DS.
Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct so far. Our final announcement is something a little different that's not a game. Here's Mr. Miyamoto to introduce it.
Hello, I'm Shigeru Miyamoto. Thank you for watching today's Nintendo Direct. Since 2011, Nintendo Direct has delivered Nintendo news directly to you. And now, these presentations have grown into an event that many people watch. Thank you all very much.
No, thank you.
We'll continue to broadcast Nintendo Direct presentations, but we're also launching a new channel based on the concept of delivering information to you directly. This is a smart device app called Nintendo Today,
Okay.
which functions like a daily calendar. In the app, you can view different Nintendo events. We will also be delivering all sorts of content about Nintendo games and characters every day. After the Nintendo Direct for Nintendo Switch 2 on April 2nd, news about Nintendo Switch 2 will be delivered to you daily and directly through the Nintendo Today app as well. Nintendo Today will be available to download on smart devices later today.
Interesting.
Anyone with a Nintendo account can use the app, so please try it out. That's all I have to share. I hope you enjoy using Nintendo Today.
That's all for today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
That was good. I'm so excited for Tomodachi Life. When's the Boston Marathon? Next month. In like... two and a half weeks? Thereabouts? Oh, what time is it? It's only 10:30 actually. Probably have time for a couple more videos. Oh, that was so good! Oh my god! Alright. So I gotta know, chat. What excited you the most? For me it was Tomodachi Life, Pokemon, Everybody's Golf Hot Shots, and Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime 4. I know that's a really boring, like, oh, what are you excited for? But, like, that's it. That's all that really interested me. You know? The Magic College game and the one after that. Ooh, yeah, the Magic College game was interesting. I want to know more about it. Like, I'm not going to say I need it right now, but I am going to say, like, I want to know more about it. Just because that's an interesting concept. I'm also kind of intrigued by the Pac-Man game. I'm very curious about that, too. Like, there's a couple games there that I really want to know more about, and that we'll probably find out more about this summer. You know? Like, we'll probably find out more about Pokemon this summer. Like, we'll get all the deets in this summer during Summer Games Fest. I'm pretty sure. We actually have time for a couple more videos. Do we want to do weird stadiums? No, let's do Sausage Man, everybody's favorite. And then I'll go in and highlight the direct reactions.
Well, hey there, folks, and welcome back. I guess a brick of lard. That was also my nickname in high school. And this is the best way to store it. And there it is. Did you ever think you would be so underwhelmed? So that's the lard. All 1 pound of it. And now that I see it out of the paper, I realize that's gonna be a lot of lard. But that's okay. We're gonna need all that lard in order to make sausage out of this super-sized chicken breast. You've heard of antibiotics?
Oh no.
All the antibiotics chicken. I ate one of these last night. My
BGM.
heart back to 2020. Let's give a little taste test. It tastes like Carmex lip balm. I regret the
That's
taste test.
very.
My lips are so greasy.
That's a very specific taste. Like, not just Carmex. Not just lip balm. Carmex lip balm specifically.
Oh, this. Oh, it's gonna stick to the grinder for sure. You know, it was incredibly stupid to send that through the grinder.
What did you think was gonna happen, dude?
Thank God. We're gonna help this sausage out with some salt, pepper, and garlic powder. See, normally when you make a chicken sausage, you never use a chicken breast. They dry out too much. But I got a feeling this brick of lard's gonna solve all our problems. Close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. Do you feel my sausage beating? And special shout out to my buddy's daughter, Juliet, who turns 14 today. Do a good deed and send out some happy birthday vibes to her. Enjoy your youth! That's the chicken and lard water.
No.
3, 2, 1.
Let's sausage. Oh my god.
The perfect amount of Cajun kids back in town. How was your vacation in Spain? All right, get those sausage guesses in.
This is going to burst.
This is probably a 2 out of 5. Wait, special thanks to today's Mark Boxalo box artist. This guy. Look at his face. Look at his tiny little face. This Will It Blow is brought
Stream muted when I join. Oh god, what more abominations you making? Unmute. Oh god, not him.
And start working towards your New Year's resolutions. What are my New Year's resolutions? To get 25% off your mattress plus 2 free pillows. So will it blow? Oh,
no, god, no it did.
Getting a taste. Well, we got it out of the tube, but it didn't get anywhere near the box. So I'm gonna have to give that Will It Blow half a Ruffalo.
How you doing? I'm alright.
It's slowly dissolving. Oh my god, that's a lot of oil. Wow.
Oh Jesus. Oh Jesus.
Afraid to flip it. There's a whole lot of oil. My god, it smells like the ball pits of Chuck E. Cheese in here. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's done. Well, all right. Let's
oh
open
my
it up
god.
and see how we did. looks good. It looks drippy. Okay, here we go. This is pretty darn good. It tastes like chicken bacon. You got the texture of chicken. You got the flavor of bacon. Sounds like a pretty big winning combination to me. You know, it does have a lot of drip to it. That's not something that I enjoy. But the rest of the sausage is really good. And even though we use chicken breast, it's not dry in the slightest. I can't believe it. We have a sausage win. So I'm gonna have to give this sausage here a 4 out of 5.
Bop, 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 bop.
Or is this sausage an eternal flame?
There was so much oil. What the fuck? Throw that sucker on tile and watch it as it slides all the way. Oh my god, there was so much oil. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, that was upsetting. Let's do this one. And then maybe I'll have to start getting ready.
There are a lot of weird high school baseball fields. Many of them are caused by geography or space issues. We get it. It's high school. But what about weird baseball fields at the highest level? Throughout history, there have been odd fields in the bigs. Let's get into it. Huntington Avenue grounds, Boston, Massachusetts. This was the site of the very first World Series game in 1903 and also saw the first perfect game in the modern era. But it was weird. Home of the Boston Red Sox from 1902 to...
So, I believe this is still in use to some extent by Northeastern University, which is on Huntington Ave. This is the same place as... Yeah, Fallout 4, the Commonwealth is based on, like, Massachusetts.
1912, Huntington Avenue grounds is famous for this picture, which shows spectators on the field of play during...
Yeah. Yeah, like, spectators functioned as the outfield wall, which is weird.
An actual game. This was likely due to the field's outrageously large dimensions.
Yeah, here we go. This is actually a really good photo. So you've got Huntington Ave, which still exists today. And then you have like the New England Conservatory, which I believe like down here, like a little just off camera. This stadium, the same one. I have no idea. I haven't played Fallout 4. A little further down here is what is now like Symphony Station, because that's where all the symphony halls are, like Berkeley, Northeastern, New England Conservatory. All that stuff is like down there now. And then a little further down from Symphony is Northeastern University.
530 feet to center, which was later expanded to 635 in 1908. It also had large patches of sand in the outfield and a tool shed in left, which was in play. The Red Sox left for Fenway in 1912 and today...
635 to dead center is crazy, by the way. Typically, your center field dimension is going to be like 400 to 420. Maybe like 380 in the smaller ballparks.
Today, the area is occupied by Northeastern University's Cabot Center. A statue of Cy Young was placed where the old mound was in 1990.
Okay, so it's not in use, but it's now part of Northeastern's campus. Do you remember Mythbusters? Of course I do.
Pennsylvania. The Baker Bowl was one of the first jewel box stadiums and was built in 1887 but burned.
Hold on. This has the same kind of weird bullshit Huntington Avenue Grounds had, where it's just got this jut out to center.
Down in 1894, and then, you know, they rebuilt it. This one had some wild features. In 1890, there was a bicycle track around the field, and fans were encouraged to ride their bikes to the game and then park them inside and then ride their bikes around the bike track after the last out. The dimensions were absolutely wild. 341 down the left field line and 408 to center, with this weird outcropping that was created when the left field bleachers were added in 1909. It was only 280 to right. Because of this short porch, they installed a huge 60-foot wall in 1920, making this place even weirder. For comparison, the Green Monster is only 37 feet tall. In 1927, two sections along the right field line collapsed because the wood rotted underneath it. It was during a game, and it was filled with people. One person died of cardiac arrest during the subsequent stampede. This was one of the first ballparks to use lights as early as 1932. However, they were only used for exhibition games. In 1935, lightning hit the flagpole in right center and splintered it.
Like someone cut it wrong.
1938
Right, like when you have a jut out in center, it's like, did we draw this up right? And it's not even like it's like an angled cutout like you have at Fenway today. It's this weird like 90-degree angle straight back and then a curve. Like, again, it's like, did we draw this up right? This doesn't look right.
Today, a parking lot sits in its place in the Northerly neighborhood. League Park, Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh my
Another
God.
weird park with a long right field fence. League Park in Cleveland was the original home of the failed Cleveland Spiders, and then later was the home of the Indians for over 40 years. The park was built inside the Cleveland Street grid, yielding odd dimensions. The fence in left field was 385 feet from home, 460 feet.
See, like, and then you have like this, which is less weird, but like you've still got an unusually like far back cutout. 460 even is astronomically like far back by modern standards. Typically, like the furthest back you'll find is like this 420 to dead center, and then maybe like 375 to the power alleys in left and right center. And then typically about around 340 to the corners. That's dead ball. Yeah. Right, like this is dead ball era. Well, no, these dimensions on screen now aren't. Those are 30s and 40s. The 1910 dimensions. Let me see if I can grab those. These are dead ball era. Nothing is getting over here. But the 30s and 40s era.
60 feet to center and 290 feet down the right field line. Like the Baker Bowl, batters had to hit a ball over a high fence in right to notch a dinger. And this one was 40 feet tall, still higher than the Green Monster. The left field fence was only 5 feet tall, but listed its height on dating apps as 5'9". The exterior of the stadium was disjointed with the ticket office jutting
Even this is like odd.
Out from the main structure. After the team left in 1946 and League Park was demolished in 1951, the ticket office was spared and still stands today. In fact, in 2014, the field was restored to the original dimensions and features field turf. And yes, the huge fence is still there and right. So weird back.
Fuck AstroTurf.
back then and still weird today. There is also a museum on the grounds, and it's a pretty neat homage to the past.
That's good. That's good.
Crosley Field, Cincinnati.
Oh my God, Crosley Field.
Built in 1911, Crosley Field had a 58-year run as the Reds' home and was one of the smallest ballparks in Major League history. Though left field was 328 and down the right field line it was 3.
So you're probably thinking like, but say, how could it be one of the smallest ballparks ever if it has like 420 to center field and 420 to right field?
66. Center field was only 390 at its deepest part.
And if you're talking about like
328 and down the right field line it was 366. Center field was only 390 at its.
Yeah, like they gradually brought the walls in more and more, or rather they brought the lines out more and more as they added more seating, and it became a lot smaller.
Center field was only 390.
Because at its smallest in 1939, well, probably not its smallest, because like you have 1958. You had 387 to center field, which is shorter, I believe, than even Wrigley Field. And then 328 to the left field corner, which is insane. Yeah, it became a lot smaller as time went on because they added more and more seating.
Its deepest part. Imagine a big league park today with those dimensions. There was also a
That's crazy
hill at the base of the left field fence, extending into center field called the terrace. Though a hill in play would be absurd in modern times, in the old
no one has ever seen a hill in play. Rest in peace, Tels Hill. We loved you.
Added as additional seating so that overflow fans could, sit right there on the baseball field during a live Major League Baseball game. The first official MLB night games were played here in 1935, and the last game at Crosley Field was played in 1970, and it was demolished in 1972. And a warehouse occupies a lot that is shaped like the old baseball field.
It's kind of crazy that for as small as it was, that Crosley Field had such a long run. Oh my God, Crosley Field, Polo Grounds, let's go.
Grounds, New York, New York. Anytime you see a baseball diamond situated in an end zone of a football field, your first thought is, that looks like the Polo Grounds. And yes, this is the OG of messed up baseball dimension. And they played Major League Baseball here. Designed mostly for football, the baseball field was an afterthought, and the lines down.
Yep. So, 505 to center field is crazy. 505 to center field, under 300 to both corners. Absolutely wild.
The left and right field line were laughably short, 279 to left and 258 to right, while an outcropping in center field brought the distance from home plate to a staggering 483 feet. The power alleys were also ridiculous, with dimensions well over 447 in both gaps. Looking at the overhead shot, you can get an idea on how much ground Willie Mays had to cover for his famous grab in center. In my weird NFL stadiums vid, I said a fan named Bernard Doyle was killed in the stands in 1950 by a bullet, but I didn't give you any context, so here's context. A 14-year-old kid was playing with a pistol about 1,000 feet away and shot it in the air from his rooftop. Talk about terrible freaking luck for all parties involved. Awful segue, but this was the site of the shot heard round the world, a hit that might not have gone out in any of the ballparks today. After the Giants left in 1956, the expansion Mets played 2 terrible seasons from 1960 to 1962 here before moving to Shea. What a great start.
I mean, yeah. When it's under 300, almost under... There. It's fucking tracking. When it's like under 300 and almost under 250 to right field. Unlucky. Yeah, like, bro, imagine you're just chilling at the ball game and a bullet just clocks you in the head. Like, bro, that's the worst fucking luck. Yeah, like, so Bobby Thompson hit a home run in, I believe it was 1963 is when the shot heard around the world was. It was either 63 or 53. No, yeah, it was 53. It would have to be the 50s because then they moved to San Francisco in the mid 50s to become the San Francisco Giants. Med check. Take them if you need them. I'm dying, Squirtle. There we go. Not that one. This one. He hit it to right field. Now, the average right field corner today is like 320 to 340. The laughably insane dimensions of the Polo Grounds are what allowed that to go out. It would not go out in any ballpark today. Guaranteed. Like he said. Is the Potato Snek happy that today's opening day? I'm ready for the Cardinals to do absolutely nothing at the trade deadline and be completely mediocre again.
Start to the franchise I love, eh? The grounds were demolished in 1963, and apparently some of the worst apartments on Earth were built.
What the fuck?
Ebbets Field.
Who designs apartment buildings like this?
Ebbets Field, Brooklyn, New York. As a kid, I used to hear a lot about Ebbets Field all the time, as my dad was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan and used to wax poetic about this place, which was quite honestly pretty weird. The field featured a short porch in right, but a huge wall, which famously had a sign at the bottom that said, "Hit sign, win suit," which my dad assured me, given the positioning of the right fielder, that would never happen, which I don't think ever did. Opened in 1913, the original layout had a huge center field.
Hold up. I need to see this. Again, 301 to the corner is 301 to the corner and 508 to dead center is wild.
Center field about 500 feet from home plate, but as the Dodgers' popularity increased, the need to add stands kept making the field smaller and smaller, and the stands bigger and bigger. However, the capacity was still only 31,000.
And then they eventually brought it in enough that it had like a normal dimensions. Again, as stadiums added more capacity.
Ebbets Field had classic architecture, and the exterior has inspired many other ballparks, including Citi Field, but it was often filled with smoke from poor air circulation and had a palpable stench that filled the arena. It was demolished in 1960 and replaced with housing, which leads us to our next field, the LA Coliseum, Los Angeles, California. The Dodgers hastily moved to LA and into the weirdest and dumbest stadium for baseball in the entire history
I believe.
of MLB. Just look at these horrific dimensions as the team crammed themselves into a stadium designed for track and field and football. NASCAR fits better in this place than baseball does. I would think that if a team tried to pull this crap today, the league would veto it. In fact, because of the...
And yet we have 2 major league teams playing in minor league stadiums this season, which I put on par with this kind of bullshit.
This tomfoolery, MLB actually changed their rules stating that the distance down either line has to be at least 325 feet. Because of this configuration.
So that's why stadiums like this will never happen today, is because of those kind of stadium building rules. I believe the reason Citi Field has like the exterior paying homage to Ebbets Field is because MLB had a rule saying that new stadiums had to pay homage to the history of baseball.
Ford Frick ordered a screen to be put up, but the cables, girders, and towers holding it up were in play and were often hit by batted balls. They even played a World Series here and hosted an all-star game. The Dodgers left this god-awful place after 2 years, and it still stands today as the home of the USC Trojans. This next one was down the road, Wrigley Field, Los Angeles, California. While the Dodgers were playing in the Coliseum, MLB's newest team was playing in Wrigley Field. Not the one in Chicago, the one in LA. Yes, this is basically a smaller replica of the friendly confines, kind of like a Disneyland version of it, complete with Wrigley's weird dimensions. What's crazy is this place was built in 1925, so the Dodgers could have played here, but their greed trumped the lost revenue that they would incur because of Wrigley's paltry seating capacity of only 20,000. The Angels only played here one season, and then 8 years later, Wrigley Field was destroyed. Today, it's an office building. And now for the weirdest of the weird, Griffith Stadium, Washington, D.C. Crammed into a North D.C. neighborhood, the field was pointed in the wrong direction and had the afternoon sun directly in its eyes. Because the team wanted to block views from nearby buildings, the outfield walls were of various heights. The odd dimensions, with it being 400 feet down the left field line, made hitting a home run in Griffith Stadium very difficult. Of course, the weirdest feature is this odd outcropping in center field, a 90-degree block that looks weird AF. Why is it there? Well, the property owners refused to sell to the Senators when the park was being built, so they just said, screw it, it's 1911, who cares? Keep your damn houses. This stadium lasted for 49 big league seasons before the Senators left in 1961. It was demolished in 1965 and is now the site of Howard University Hospital. I want to believe that these houses here are the ones that refuse to sell. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Special shout out to Andrew Clem.
So I've brought up the outcropping in Fenway Park a couple times during this video, and I want to tell you why that's there. I want to tell you why that outcropping is there. Open image, a new tab. Cool. I want one that I can zoom in on. Open image, a new tab. No. Okay. This one? Whatever. This one's a bit easier to see. So, this outcropping. So, these are the bleacher seats. So, 310 to left, which is a little shorter than average, but he's mentioned the Green Monster a couple times. That's a 37-foot left field wall. Then it comes down a little bit, but it's still raised for the bleacher seats. And it comes down, and then you get this little outcropping here at the 420 mark. That's pretty much dead center at Fenway. And the reason that's there is there's a little shed here, like right on this, right here, where the grounds crew keeps the batting practice screens. That's why that outcropping exists. That's why that little outcrop exists. Then you've got the bullpens, and then you've got the short right field fence, Pesky's pole at 302, and then it comes into home plate. It's also got one of the smallest amounts of foul space in the entire major leagues. There's like next to no foul space, partly because of Pesky's pole. And just because Fenway is just kind of plopped down in the neighborhood, same kind of way Wrigley is, you just kind of have to conform to the neighborhood dimensions. Like, so Again, he mentioned it. That's what led to a lot of these funky ballpark dimensions in like the early 1900s, is that a lot of these ballparks were just kind of plopped down in neighborhoods. Huntington Ave, you can just walk down that street today. Of course, Clark and Addison, one of the most famous addresses ever. Wrigley Field, plopped right down in a neighborhood. Fenway Park, plopped right down in a neighborhood. A lot of those funky ballpark dimensions were out of necessity. All right. I think that's going to be it, because I have to run an errand before work today. Oh god, my spit cup is starting to smell. Maybe I should throw it out. Anyway. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm sorry this went off the rails, but it ended up working out because we got to watch the Nintendo Direct live, which was great. I never get to watch that shit live. Twitch gang, hang tight. I'm gonna send you somewhere. YouTube gang, I will see you tomorrow for Yakuza. Twitch gang, I will also see you tomorrow for Yakuza. Let me just go over here. I'm gonna throw it over to Mrs. So, see ya. Thank you for hanging out. Alright. Thank you so much. I will see you all tomorrow for more Pirate Yakuza. Bye-bye!